Hey everybody, Paisley Imperfect back for our second to last Make a Plan Monday for 2025's Come Follow Me. We've got this week left, and then the week after is all about Christmas. You can see that over here, all about Christmas. And then we get started on the Old Testament, which I am super excited about. I taught seminary for 4 years, and the Old Testament and the Book of Mormon were my favorites. All right, the family, a proclamation to the world. It's all about the family this week. And as you can imagine, a lot of people have said a lot of things in the last, was it the 30th anniversary of the family proclamation this last October? 20 or 30, I don't know. I've been alive long enough that it's within my lifetime. I just don't remember if it was 20 years ago or 30. I think it was 30 years ago. Anyway, we're going to be looking obviously at the proclamation. That's on our list. But then as we scroll down, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. There's this, Gathering the Family of God, from President Eyring. There's the family proclamation again right there. There is this, A Mighty Change, from President Uchtdorf. But this right here is just a section of this talk right here. I didn't put just the section link on the checklist. I put the link to the whole talk, which is this. So when we look at the checklist and it doesn't say A Mighty Change, all it says is Jesus Christ is the strength of parents. That's why. And then there's from Elder Christofferson, Why Marriage, Why Family. President Oaks, The Plan and the Proclamation, from 2017. And then if you want to go look at family and topics and questions, as always, please go do that. But it's not on, I didn't put it on either of our lists this week. There's I Am a Child of God, if you want to go take a listen. And then it gets a little bit more specific. Paragraph 6 and 7 of the Family Proclamation. Happiness in family life is most likely to be achieved when founded upon the teachings of the Lord Jesus Christ. That's where happiness comes from. We feel things, we can feel happiness without that, but I would argue that it's temporary and not the hopeful happiness that we get from our belief in the atonement or in the plan of salvation. And then there's also this talk here, The Finest Homes, from Elder Clayton, from 2020. And then as we keep going, we call upon responsible citizens to maintain and strengthen the family. That's the last paragraph. Sister Oscarson gave a talk in 2015 called Defenders of the Family Proclamation. That one is on our list. And then there's this one right here with Elder Rasband that is also on the list, The Family Proclamation, Words from God. A video here, Defenders of the Faith. This one's 7 minutes. This one's 14. This one right here should give you some semblance of how long we're going to be studying this week, each day, because they're, for the most part, it's conference talks. We do have 2 lists. We'll get to that here in just a second. All right, we'll come back to people, places, and events. Down here, there it is again, the Family Proclamation. And then, what is the purpose of family? This link right here takes you to the page that this video is on. The link that is on our checklist will take you to this page. Just know that this link right here and this video are the same thing. There's this talk by President Oaks, The Family-Centered Gospel of Jesus Christ, and this is the one that he just did recently. All right, and then as we keep going, there's a song from the Children's Songbook, I Will Follow God's Plan. And then in the Plan and the Proclamation, which is not this one, it's the other one, the Plan and the Proclamation from President Oaks. Is it the other one? No, this one is, yes, that one was already up there above. The Plan and the Proclamation is on here a couple of times. And then there's another link to the Family Proclamation, and another link there, and another link there. A cute video. Cute photo. Heavenly Father wants families to be happy. And then I wanted to point out this note right here. If you are a teacher in primary or in Relief Society or in young men's, young women's, whatever, if you're a teacher, please be sensitive to the types of families that you have or that your students have, be sensitive to those. But also remember, and I know I've said this 100 times, but I don't think that we can say it enough. Remember that we teach the ideal because that's what the celestial kingdom will look like. And we don't want to just show up to the celestial kingdom and have no idea, not know what to expect. We teach the ideal because that is what we strive for. That is what we will get someday, should we make it to the celestial kingdom. And we need to be prepared for that. All right. I am a child of God is in here. There's another link to the family proclamation. There's another one. And then there's a link there to the activity page. There's a printable here if you want to print the family proclamation to hang up in your house, to have on hand, fold up and put in your scriptures. There's a copy here that you can print. And then here's our activity page down here. All right, let's go take a look at people, places, and events. I love that President Hinckley is hanging out here. Oh, gosh, I miss him. All right. And it's interesting, historical background. Look at the difference. There are these talks from all of these people were alive. Some of them still are. All of these people have been alive in my lifetime. But if we start up here at the top, Faith and Families with President Nelson. And I did the same thing with this that I've done with all of the other ones. If there's quote unquote extra stuff and this people, places, and events section, I create a plan B. So some of these are in plan B. Some of them are in plan A because they're also in the main content section for this week's lessons. But anyway, Faith and Families was not. So that is on plan B, but not on plan A. The plan and the proclamation, that one from President Oaks, that one is on plan A and plan B. Everything that's on plan A is also on plan B, but plan B is a little bit longer. Has more content on it than plan A, just like usual. The Teachings of the Family, a Proclamation to the World from President Eyring. That one is not on plan A, just plan B. President Ballard, The Sacred Responsibility of Parenthood. This is a long one. And this one was a BYU speech. So, and I think it's only available for listening. Let's click on that really quick and see what comes up. This one was a BYU. Oh, this is great. Okay, when I clicked on this earlier this week, the transcript wasn't there. So now you can either listen to it or read it. But look it's 47 and a half minutes long. So that one's going to be, that's the longest day of the week if you go with plan B. Okay, then there's this last but not least from Elder Hafen, the Proclamation on the Family, Transcending the Cultural Confusion. And that one is on plan B, not on plan A. Okay, so now that I have thoroughly confused you between what's on plan A and plan B, let's take a look at them. Plan A looks like this. On average, we're looking at about 22 minutes a day, but we've got like one 17-minute day, and we've got a couple of 26 and a half, almost 27-minute days. So on average, it's about 22 minutes, but it varies because of the length of these talks. But Monday is just about 19 minutes, reading both the Family, a Proclamation to the World, and the Family Proclamation, Words from God by Elder Rasband. Tuesday, Gathering the Family of God by President Eyring. That one is barely over 18 minutes. Wednesday, Jesus Christ is the Strength of Parents and the Finest Homes by President Uchtdorf and Elder Clayton. Those two together are 26 and a half. Thursday, Why Marriage, Why Family by Elder Christofferson and Defenders of the Family Proclamation by Sister Oscarson. Those two together are 26 and a half. Sorry, this is Thursday. 26 minutes and 51 seconds, so almost 27 minutes. Friday, these two, the plan and the proclamation, and the video, What is the Purpose of Family, those two are 17 minutes and 22 seconds, so that's the shortest day of the week. And then last but not least, on Saturday, Defenders of the Faith and the Family-Centered Gospel of Jesus Christ by President Oaks, those are just over 24 minutes, almost 24 and a half. Okay, and then plan B is a little bit heavier. On Monday, we're looking at about 34 minutes with the proclamation itself, both of the videos, and then the talk by Elder Hafen, the Proclamation on the Family, Transcending the Cultural Confusion. Tuesday is 33 minutes and 14 seconds, Gathering the Family of God by President Eyring, and Jesus Christ is the Strength of Parents by Elder Uchtdorf. Wednesday, Why Marriage, Why Family with Elder Christofferson and the Plan and the Proclamation by President Oakes. Wednesday is 31 minutes and 23 seconds. Thursday, The Finest Homes by Elder Clayton, Defenders of the Family Proclamation by Sister Oscarson, and the Family-Centered Gospel of Jesus Christ by President Oakes. All three of those together is 40 minutes and 11 seconds. On Friday, The Family Proclamation Words from God by Elder Rasband, Faith and Families by President Nelson, and The Teachings of the Family, A Proclamation to the World by President Eyring. Those three together is just under 43 minutes. And Saturday is the longest with that 47.5-minute speech at BYU by President Ballard, The Sacred Responsibilities of Parenthood. On average, we're looking at about 38 minutes per day, but the shortest day is Wednesday with 31.5, and the longest day is Saturday with 47.5. So you can see there's kind of a big difference between, there's a big difference between 31.5 minutes and 47.5 minutes, right? But we got this. We can do this. Pick one, Plan A or Plan B. They are both available at paisleyimperfect.com. Or make up your own. And if you can't do all of this, then don't. Just do what you can. Do one thing every day. Even if it's one paragraph a day, just in the family, a proclamation to the world. Even if it's just one paragraph a day, just do one paragraph. Do what you can. It's better than nothing. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. I hope that you've learned something new from the Doctrine and Covenants this year. I hope that you're as excited about the Old Testament as I am. I'm super stoked to get into the Old Testament. And at the very end of this year, I just want to say thank you again. I appreciate your time and your support. Until next time, thanks everybody.